I'm doing review today of some DAPs that I use either with my phone or with my PC. They're portable, they're external, they're battery powered. They're generally just a DAC amp, although in one case, which is the HIBY R3, it's also a DAP, right? So I've done this a little differently. This isn't part of the review. This is a recorder. So this is an AK380. This is a recorder. What I essentially have done is I have run, this is an aux cord, and I have run the output from my computer digitally into one of these DACs, into all of these DACs. Then I ran it out of the aux into the recorder and recorded a 2-minute sound file so that I could post a link to it and you could listen to the raw data of the 5 different DACs I have here. So I thought I'd run you through them quickly each, but it's ultimately you're the judge. You can click the link. There'll be 5 sample files, and you can listen to the sample music and decide what sound signature you like best. So the first one I've got here is a HIBY R3. This actually is a DAP as well. It can be used as an external DAC. So, you know, you have a choice. It is a fantastic little player. So it comes with the Sabre ES9028Q2M chip, which is a fantastic chip. It has a micro SD card there, holds 512. It's got balanced, fantastic. Now keep in mind when you listen to the file for this, the gain on this was set to low. You can only flip this over to high when it's under load, and I neglected to do that. So the gain on this is on low. So that's that. Single chip, but nice sound, well worthwhile. Next, we've got a FIIO Q1. I don't know what I've got all over it. Almost like a wax or something. Anyway, we'll clean that up later. So we've got bass boost. We've got high-low output. Bass boost is set to off. High-low is set to on. We've got a micro USB input. And then we have a power. 3.5, balance 2.5, 3.5 in. So I can use this as an amp. So this HIBY, I cannot use this as an amp. Not that I'm aware of anyway. Whereas this, I can plug an auxiliary in and just use it as an amp, or I can use it as a DAC amp. You turn it on, you get a blue light. There is a green light for DSDs and a red light for low battery. And do you know what? Plug and play. It's about $100. You know. So this has AK4452 chip. It has a nice sound signature, a very nice sound signature. A lot of people will say some of the AK chips are old. They've always had a very soft, I shouldn't say soft, but a very velvety, smooth sound to them. Not as harsh and as hissy and whatnot as some of the old Sabres. So, worthwhile product. Best bang for the buck. You know, if you just want to spend $110, $120, I forget what it was, and pick something like that up, it's a no-brainer. It really is. It doesn't give you the freedom and flexibility that adding something like that does, but it's well worthwhile product. Next, we've got the Hidiz fingerprint magnet. This is a DH1000. This has three connections here. We've got our iOS, micro SD, and a charge. So you can be charging it while you're using it. This, by the way, charges while you're using it. It doesn't have the second plug, but it charges while you're using it. So this is not my favorite device. It has a balanced amp. Can you see that? So we have two outputs here. So we've got our inputs, right, which are digital inputs. We've got volume up and down, and then we've got our outputs. So we've got 2.5 balanced, 3.5 regular, power on and off. Green light comes on for power. Right there, there's a little blue light that comes on. It shines brighter blue when it's charging, and it goes red when you're running out of power. This is your very basic device. This has two 9018 K2M chips. It is only capable of DSD128, although it would downsample, as does everything, right? So it has a lot of challenges connecting to certain devices. It does not like this laptop. It occasionally likes my phone, but generally this can be a very, very frustrating device because you go to use it and it doesn't work. You think it's not going to work, you connect it, it works. It's got attitude, I think is the word. Runs sub 300, and when it works, it's nice. I don't like the chips. You know, the architecture here for the amp, I think is spot on, fantastic. But it's got old chips in it. It's got the 9018 K2Ms, which are pretty dodgy in their day, even, let alone today's day. So that's the Hidiz DH 1000. Next, we have a very posh, polished character. This is the OPPO. This is the HA2 SE. So the SE being the special edition, which simply means it has the upgraded chips. So this has the 9028. So Sabre 9028 Q2M chip. Same as the R3, I believe. We've got two switches here. One for output, one for bass boost. Output's high, bass boost is off. This simply tells you what your charge is at, 4 bars. By the way, if I plug in my phone and I hit that button without turning it on, I will charge my phone. So this is also a battery pack in a pinch. Simple on off. We are on. This will handle DSDs to 256. It has the 9028, I think I already mentioned. It is a nice sounding device. Very nice sounding device. It'll handle, and it handles everything seamlessly. You turn this thing on, it works, right? Imagine that. Worthwhile. Not in print anymore, but if you find one, it is very, very worthwhile. Lastly, we got a FIIO. This is a Q5, and this is basically, how would I describe this? I guess I would best describe this as being the same as the X5 Mark III DAP. Very similar. It's not the same. It looks the same as the X7 Mark II. It has a different DAC chip in it. Okay, the op amp on the bottom, the amp here, which is replaceable, by the way, is the same as the X7 amp, right? So you can swap those out. This has got a lot of features on it. This is Bluetooth compatible, so you could dock this and connect to it with Bluetooth and transmit to it. You've got opticals. So your optical is here. So you have opticals in, digital in, right? You've got your optical and your coaxial, and then you've got your line out. Your 3.5 and your 2.5 balance come out of the bottom, which I hate, by the way. They should never be set up by your plug, because when I dock it, I can no longer use them, right? So I effectively, I can't dock it. I have to provide the power separately and then run my cords into it. Color light changes depending on what you're playing. It's got a nice dial. Again, bass boost is off, gain is on. other than that, this is a nice device. But you know what? I don't personally, if you use those gadgets, it's worthwhile. I don't use the features that this has. I use it simply as a DAC for my computer, DAC amp, or my phone. What I need to do is maybe consider starting to use some of the other features this has. But I'm not really sure how I would do that. Like, I mean, for starters, my laptop doesn't provide an optical in, because that would be brilliant. I just go optical in, boom, done. Anyway, so what I've done now is I've done a 2-minute recording of each one of these devices, and I've attached a link where the 5 recordings are. They're all labeled, so you can listen to them and you can hopefully hear the difference. I haven't listened to them yet, so I'm going to listen to them as well. So anyway, if you liked it, subscribe and hit like. That's all. Thanks a lot.